Meeting a Sigma male is not like meeting anyone else. There's something about him that feels different, and for many people, that difference is disturbing. It's not that he tries to intimidate or stand out. In fact, it's often the opposite. He blends into the background, avoids drawing attention, and says less than most. But the way he carries himself, the way he sees through people, and the way he ignores the usual rules of social behavior create an energy that unsettles others. A real Sigma male doesn't play the social games that everyone else is caught up in. He doesn't fight for status like the so-called alphas, and he doesn't follow like the betas. He exists outside of that system altogether, operating on his own code. This independence, combined with his sharp intelligence and emotional detachment, makes him unpredictable. And unpredictability often feels disturbing. When you meet a real Sigma male, you sense that he isn't interested in impressing you. He doesn't compete, he doesn't chase approval, and he doesn't care if you understand him. At the same time, he sees things about you that you may not even notice about yourself. His presence feels calm, but beneath that calmness is an intensity that can't be ignored. It's this combination of distance and insight that creates the unsettling aura people feel when they encounter him. In this video, we're going to explore 6 disturbing signs that show you've just met a real Sigma male. These signs are not obvious at first glance, but once you notice them, you'll understand why being around him can feel so different, and why people often find him both fascinating and unnerving. Sign number 1. Prefers silence in social settings. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. In groups, they rush to fill the air with chatter, jokes, or stories. They fear awkward pauses because they want to be liked and accepted. The Sigma male doesn't share that fear. When he's in a social setting, he has no problem staying quiet. He doesn't talk to prove himself, and he doesn't force conversation just to fit in. His silence is intentional, and that silence is often disturbing to those around him. What unsettles people is not just the lack of words, it's what he does instead. While others are busy talking, he's observing. He studies body language, tone, and behavior. He notices who's trying too hard, who's insecure, and who's hiding something. His quiet presence makes people feel exposed because they can sense he's gathering more information than he's sharing. This silence also shifts the balance of power. In a group, the person who speaks least often controls the rhythm of the conversation more than the ones who dominate it. When the Sigma male finally speaks, people pay attention because his words carry weight. He's not filling space, he's delivering meaning. That contrast between long stretches of quiet and sudden bursts of sharp insight creates an unease that lingers with people long after he's gone. Silence in his hands becomes a tool. It makes others nervous, it forces them to reveal themselves, and it highlights the fact that he doesn't need validation from the group. This alone is enough to disturb people who thrive on constant interaction. Sign number 2. Walks away from attention rather than seeking it. Most people crave attention in some form. They want recognition, praise, or approval. Whether it's posting online for likes or competing at work for acknowledgement, the hunger for validation drives much of human behavior. The Sigma male moves in the opposite direction. He doesn't just ignore the spotlight, he walks away from it. This reversal of expectation is deeply unsettling for those who don't understand him. When people achieve something, they usually want others to notice. The Sigma male doesn't care. He may succeed quietly, build quietly, and improve himself without telling anyone. Even when others praise him, he often shrugs it off as meaningless. To him, attention is a distraction. It takes him away from his focus and his inner world. This habit of walking away from attention is disturbing because it breaks social rules. We are used to people wanting to be seen. We are used to people trying to impress. When someone refuses that game, it confuses others. They wonder why he doesn't care, what he's hiding, or what he knows that they don't. The Sigma male's avoidance of attention also makes him unpredictable. People can't use praise to control him, and they can't shame him into conformity. He remains outside the system of rewards and punishments that drives most behavior. That independence unsettles people because it shows them how dependent they are on external validation compared to him. Sign number 3 has boundaries people can't cross. Sigma male's life is defined by boundaries. He knows exactly where his limits are, and he enforces them with quiet precision. This alone can be disturbing to people because most expect some level of compromise in social interactions. They're used to pushing others, testing limits, and bending rules until they get what they want. With a Sigma male, that strategy fails. His boundaries are firm, and no amount of persuasion or pressure will move them. For example, he doesn't share his private life with just anyone. He decides who gets access, and he never feels guilty about shutting people out. He chooses when to answer calls, when to respond to messages, and when to give his time. If someone tries to overstep, asking too many personal questions, invading his space, or demanding too much of his attention, he pulls back immediately. What makes this disturbing is the confidence behind it. Most people hesitate when enforcing boundaries because they fear being judged, rejected, or disliked. The Sigma male doesn't. He enforces his rules calmly, without anger and without apology. That calm refusal makes people realize they don't have power over him. This creates unease because people are used to getting reactions. They're used to arguments, guilt, or negotiation. The Sigma male offers none of that. He simply says no with his actions, and that finality unsettles people who rely on emotional leverage. His boundaries reveal just how little influence they actually have over him, and that truth is often more disturbing than any confrontation. Sign number 4. Obsesses over self-improvement, not competition. In a world built on competition, most people measure themselves against others. They want to be richer than their peers, more popular than their rivals, or more successful than their neighbors. But the Sigma male isn't interested in that game. His focus is inward, not outward. He obsesses over improving himself even when no one is watching. This shift in focus is disturbing to others because it removes any sense of control. Competitors can't get to him because he's not competing with them. Critics can't discourage him because their voices mean nothing. While others waste energy trying to one-up each other, the Sigma quietly studies, trains, or builds, becoming stronger without anyone noticing. His obsession with self-improvement can even look extreme from the outside. He will spend hours mastering a skill, refining his body, or sharpening his mind, not for praise, but for himself. This intensity makes people uneasy because they can see he's building something powerful, yet they don't know where it will lead. What disturbs people most is the realization that they can't measure themselves against him. He isn't playing the same game. He doesn't need to win because in his mind there is no race. This independence is intimidating because it shows how fragile most people's sense of worth really is compared to his. His self-improvement exposes their obsession with validation, and that contrast unsettles them deeply. Sign number 5. Rarely shows feelings, reacts with logic. Emotions drive much of human behavior. People get angry when insulted, excited when praised, or anxious when threatened. But the Sigma male doesn't react this way. He rarely shows strong emotions, even under pressure. Instead, he stays calm and processes everything through logic. This emotional detachment can be disturbing because it feels unnatural to those who expect a reaction. Imagine insulting someone and seeing no anger. Imagine giving someone praise and seeing no pride. Imagine pushing someone's buttons and realizing they won't push back. That's the Sigma male's presence. His calmness unsettles people because it reveals how much power they lose when emotions don't work on him. This doesn't mean he has no feelings. It means he refuses to let feelings control his actions. He thinks first, reacts later, and always keeps perspective. For people who rely on drama, manipulation, or emotional pressure, this is terrifying. Their usual tactics fall flat, leaving them exposed. The Sigma male's logical responses also reveal truths others try to avoid. While most get swept up in emotion, he points out facts. While others panic, he stays level-headed. His ability to stay calm in storms makes people uneasy because it shows them how easily they are shaken compared to him. That imbalance is disturbing, and it makes the Sigma male stand out in any room. Sign number 6. Lives by own rules, not society's expectations. The most disturbing sign of all is how a Sigma male rejects the rules that most people live by. Society pressures people to chase careers, follow trends, fit into groups, and live in ways that keep the system running smoothly. Most comply because they fear standing out or being judged. The Sigma male doesn't care. He creates his own path, even if it looks strange or unsettling to everyone else. He doesn't follow trends, he doesn't bend to cultural expectations, and he doesn't pretend to value what others worship. If he doesn't want marriage, he won't do it. If he doesn't want a 9-to-5 job, he'll create another way to live. If a tradition feels empty, he ignores it. This kind of independence is disturbing because it breaks the unspoken rules of conformity. People don't know how to deal with someone who doesn't play by their script. They can't shame him because he doesn't care. They can't bribe him because he doesn't value what they offer. They can't control him because he doesn't need their approval. That kind of freedom is terrifying to those who depend on systems and social validation. The Sigma male's choice to live by his own rules exposes the truth most people avoid. Many of their choices are not their own. They are controlled by fear of rejection or desire for approval. When faced with someone who has cut those strings, they feel disturbed, because he shows them what true independence looks like. Meeting a Sigma male is not like meeting anyone else. He carries an energy that feels different, calm but intense, quiet but powerful. What makes him disturbing isn't aggression or arrogance. It's his refusal to play by the same rules as everyone else. He prefers silence in groups, making people uneasy with his observations. He walks away from attention instead of seeking it, breaking the social script. He enforces boundaries others can't cross, revealing how little control they have. He obsesses over self-improvement instead of competition, making him unpredictable. He rarely shows emotion, responding with logic that unsettles manipulators. And above all, he lives by his own rules, ignoring society's expectations without fear. Together, these signs create a presence that is both fascinating and unnerving. People sense his strength, his independence, and his clarity. They realize they can't manipulate him, predict him, or control him, and that truth disturbs them more than anything. If you've ever felt that strange mix of curiosity and discomfort when meeting someone, pay attention. You may have just crossed paths with a real Sigma male.